everyone, it's Stacy Sobel with Salon Today, and I am here today with Coach Karen Hardee. And we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of goal setting, not just personal goals for individuals, but team goals as well. Talk a little bit about how you coach your clients through that process and why it's important for a team member to have both.
Well, I think so often, like we can get caught up on our goals as the business owner, right? And when we come that way to our team, so often they'll think, well, they're just out for what they want to create in their business, what money they want to make. But when we really sit down and have, like, I love to do it more one-on-one. I'm not one for like the bigger, it's great to have your team meetings, but when you're really like goal setting and really finding out what it is that somebody else wants to create in their life, that's when being personal and really getting that one-on-one time with them and finding out what it is that they want to create in their lives, what it is that they're running after. Because so often if we help them reach their goals, we both rise together. We both can be successful in the areas of our lives that we want to, whether it's business or professional. So many times it may be something that someone wants to, buy a new house, right? But they have to have more money down for down payment. So how can we help them reach that goal? How can we help them start saving for retirement? How can we help them build little nests for their children? Like there's just so many different things that people want to take and do personally. And so when we gather that information with our, business and create that goal setting for them and for us, it's like everybody wins then. And they're running after something they want. It's just trying to reach a number for us as salon owners.
And when you connect it to something personal like that for them, how does it make them like work towards that harder than if they just thought it was for the salon to make more money?
Well, I mean, like they definitely say that first, that we're invested in them also, and not just for ourselves, right? But anytime we're all focused, I don't care whether, we own a business or not, but when we have something tangible that we want, that's personally to our heart that we're running after, you run harder, and then when you also know that you have that support system that's going to help you get to what you're needing to get to, makes it so much better when you have that collaboration, that team building, whether it's from a business owner or not. But when you have that support and you don't feel like you're running after something alone, makes such a difference. That's why I think salon coaching, like having a coach, no matter who it is so important, because you feel lonely so often as a business owner. You're not knowing always what directions to go. When you bring that in, it makes a difference. And that's the same respect for our teams. Like when you have that, when you're leading, serving them also, and that makes a difference.
Right. So talk about what a team goal is and how that's different than the personal goal. And
so team goal basically is like if we're running after, I have always loved to do it in the respect that if there's something that the team wants in the salon, just say major education, whether it's new shampoo, whatever it is, right? But we all as business owners know we have budgets that we have to reach, right? And so if that's not within the budget, what can we do together collectively as a team to create that success? What is it that we can do to bring that revenue up so that we can bring in that special educator, so that we can get the new and greatest trend of technology or equipment or whatever, creating that together and everybody having a part in it makes a difference. So often it's like, well, your team or whatever may say, well, I want this or that, and it might not be in the budget, right? So instead of just being like pushing it back and saying, okay, well, we can't create that, we don't have the finances right now, it's not in the budget, think outside the box, think collectively. Okay, what can we do to create that and make goals that way? It makes such a difference in the team building and just coming together as a team instead of individuals.
And what does it do for the culture in a salon? Because that's really important.
That's huge in the culture, because you're building it together instead of everybody just running after their own. When you have it's team building, really, honestly, even if it's doing something that's not running after a specific goal, but when you're doing something tangibly together and creating something together, that's a win for everybody. It's just that support system is there, that family starts to create, that feeling like you're a part of something. I mean, let's face it, we all want to be a part of something. Everybody does, right? No matter what it is. And when you feel that and you're a part of it and you really connect with it, it makes a difference.
Now you own a salon too, so you're speaking from experience.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you set a goal, measurement is also very important, and then communication around where that KPI is at, whatever you're using to measure that goal. How often do you recommend to your coaching clients that they sit down with individual team members and review where they are against their goals?
Well, definitely depends upon the goal that they're running after. But ideally, I mean, if you don't have that number in front of you daily or at least weekly, you don't know if you missed it or not. So if you're only meeting once a month, right, or you don't have a way for them to track it in between, that month that goes by, and if you didn't reach it, like, it's so hard to get caught back up again. So tangibly, at least weekly, sometimes daily, because if you keep hitting that track, that goal that you're running after, when you miss it a little bit, you can get back on it faster.
And with certain software, you can see it in real time all the time, which
Oh gosh, yeah.
is important because, as you said, if you wait a month before you look where your progress is against that goal, you've wasted that entire month to change if you're missing it,
Right.
to correct that behavior. And
nowadays it's so much easier. Gosh, I remember when I opened up my salon 29 years ago, we didn't have any of this stuff. We didn't have softwares to figure it out. Everything was paper.
calculating on
And it
paper
took forever, so like you were like, forget it, I don't even want to. But I can't stress enough how important it is to know your numbers, for your team to know their numbers, because so often we'll get into in the busyness of life or in our businesses, but we don't like look at the numbers that are so important, from like your average ticket. Like how are you going to keep growing if you don't know these, your retail numbers, like it's so important to know your numbers to grow. If you don't know what your numbers are, you never know what you're trying to hit.
And I think it's also important not only to know your numbers, but to know what the possibility is. Like, what if there's someone in the salon that's performing at a higher level, that that's achievable, that you can grow to that. So,
well, sometimes it looks like it's so big, like the goal, right? And I have always been one that I have felt like we are the luckiest people around, because we honestly can create whatever it is that we want. We have the opportunity, whether you're a salon owner or not, it doesn't matter. Like, as a service provider, you can create the revenue that you want if you're willing to do it, right? Like, if you're willing to dream big, like, it's not hard to make 6 figures behind a chair or in a treatment room or doing nails. It's not hard at all. You just have to have a plan and action to go with it and do what it needs to be done, but make it tangible. Like, if you want to reach this big goal, well, chunk it down in little sizes, because then you'll hit it easier. If you have this big goal, you're like, my gosh, that's so far away, and you procrastinate.
Yeah, you lose your encouragement because it doesn't look achievable.
It doesn't, but I mean, like, we are definitely in the industry that the money is not, it's not far out there. I mean, we make more than doctors.
Well, great. That's a great note to end on. But this is a great to talk about this and the culture and goal setting. Any final words for anybody who's looking to have a coach? Why is it important to have a coach that keeps you accountable?
Well, that's the one thing, accountable, right? It's so easy to have the goals and the desires and the aspirations to create what we want, but so often life gets in front of us, right? So often we're not sure exactly the moves to make to create what we want, because it seems so hard, right? Or we've tried so many things, but it just doesn't click, right? And the moment that you get doesn't, but it doesn't matter if it's me or anybody else. Like, it doesn't matter about a coach. I mean, I think one thing is that connecting with the person that you want to have that you want to coach with you, and also knowing that that person also made and created the success that you're looking for, right? Because that person can understand what it is that you're trying to do, or the same feelings of when we fail at something and we just aren't creating the success that we want. We know, like I remember sitting on my salon floor crying because I was actually at a point that I was resenting my business because I was missing out on my first daughter's first walks, and I knew there had to be a better way. I didn't know what it was. And it was in that moment that year that I hired my first business coach. And that's what changed everything. That's what changed the growth of my business. That's what helped me see the different way of running a business. Because let's face it, like most of us get into open up a salon is because we love what we do. I knew I was great at hair. I had a gift at it. I had no clue how to run a business. So having somebody come alongside of you that's already created the success that you want makes it easier. You have that person to help guide you and hold you accountable.
You have to
And when
learn.
it's hard, make you keep going because it gets hard. I mean, life is hard at times, right? So sometimes we have to push through those tough moments. Coaching you along to push through those tough moments, to have those conversations with your team, right? Or even pushing you to go to that next level in your business that you don't think is possible.
And while your team members are working on how to be better stylists, owners need to work on how to run a better business.
Absolutely. That's the biggest, so big, because like I was still behind the chair. I mean, I still am behind the chair like 8 hours a week now because I love what I do, right? And I love that I can still be so in tune with everything that's going around in the industry, especially when I'm coaching, because I'm still in the thick of it. I'm still knowing what it's like. I'm still knowing what it is to deal when we were shut down. I still know what it's like helping your team and your staff, and you're pivoting and you're doing all the things, and it does make a difference. Going alone is so much harder. Having a coach, a mentor, somebody to come alongside of you and help you create what is so possible makes life so much easier.
Well, Karen, thanks so much for spending time with Salon Today and our audience and talking a little bit about goal setting, culture, and coaching. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah.